Now, after that summit on Ukraine at the White House on Monday, the ball is very firmly in Vladimir Putin's court. The reaction from Russia, though, has ranged from obfuscation to waffle. Putin's apparently suggested talks take place in Moscow, an unthinkable location for President Zelensky. And in a classic example of Kremlin speak, an official statement suggested any summit would have to be prepared step by step, gradually, starting from the expert level and then going through all the necessary stages. So what will Putin do next? Let's speak to someone who knows him. Mikhail Kasyanov is the former Prime Minister of Russia and joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
How serious do you think Putin actually is about coming to a peace agreement?
Absolutely not. You're exactly correctly just explained just Putin's attitude. He doesn't want to have the high-level meeting. He doesn't want to sit down with Zelensky. It will be some kind of humiliating event for him. That's why he will be avoiding. You're correct that the ball on the Putin's court, but he will continue dragging out time, continue his offensive operation, believing that he will win war of attrition. He simply managed to avoid imposing just tough sanctions as a result of Alaska meeting. He got a lot of honors, and he was pulled out from isolation by President Trump. He is now a winner, and he continued to believe that he will be just overcoming all those problems President Trump and European leaders are creating for him.
There are other wins for Putin, aren't there? Sort of currently it looks like an end to NATO expansion, 20% of Ukraine's land that he didn't have 3.5 years ago. As you mentioned, a return to the diplomatic stage. If he feels like he is winning, is there anything the West could do now? Could they be firmer with him? What do you think would be a successful strategy?
I think European leaders already understood completely. They already prepared to create a victory for European security. It means pressure on Putin. They are prepared to impose more sanctions. Mr. Trump just denied to join European sanctions, for instance, to reduce the price cap for oil, or just starting pressing China and India not to buying Russian oil. That is the Russian oil export of Russian oil. That is the main source of Putin's funding the war. That's why pressure on Putin, further isolation. That is the only way.
That hasn't come to fruition yet, has it? Donald Trump promised there would be severe consequences if Putin didn't commit to a ceasefire. That didn't happen. He promised secondary sanctions on Russia's main trading partners. That didn't happen. The Times is reporting this morning that Putin actually, with some of the suggestions that he's been making, let's say a land swap, has actually been a bit of a ploy to divide America and Ukraine. Do you think Putin is trying to do that?
That's absolutely the case. That's what I'm happy that the last meeting in Washington didn't come with the split between Europe, Ukraine, and the United States. Just European leaders managed to find a way how to, I would say, please Mr. Trump and not to come to this split. But it is already evident. Europeans are ready to press Putin and support Ukraine. Mr. Trump wants the stop killing, as he explains. And now just he changed his position. It was absolutely for 6 months he insisted on a ceasefire. The whole world insisted for the ceasefire. Now Mr. Trump changed his position. He said, we don't need ceasefire. We need just the comprehensive solution right now, exchange of territories, etc. That's not the way to come to the end, to stop the war. That's why I'm saying Putin's still winning the war, because just everything, all these discussions of these two meetings in Alaska and Anchorage and Washington, played for him. Now he tries to avoid the last demand to him, to have meeting with Zelensky. And Mr. Trump said that Putin accepted this, but no one from Kremlin just confirmed that. They're saying just we prepared to raise the level of representation of the delegation, but they never said that Putin is ready to meet.
Thank you so much for your time and your analysis. Mikhail Kasyanov, the former Prime Minister of Russia, on, as you heard there, extremely muted ambitions really about whether Putin is serious about a path to peace, because right now, while there is very little action on the front line, it is creeping forward ever so slowly in Putin's favour. Inaction and a failure to impose a ceasefire means Russia currently has the gains, has the wins, and no one is prepared, it seems, at this point to put serious concessions on Putin.
And you won't hear that from the American establishment, you won't hear that from the British establishment, but seems to be the case. Putin is winning.
During the previous 3-4 months, we heard various ideas from Russia. They had this Easter ceasefire, then the victory, the 9th of May ceasefire, then they proposed this short humanitarian ceasefire. This is not really a genuine ceasefire. So if we're talking about humanitarian pauses on some local places on the front line, you need to understand that this is something that is already happening from time to time. When local commanders agree, Ukrainian and Russian commanders, very local, like on low level, they agree that, okay, let's collect the bodies of the fallen soldiers, for example, and let's have a short humanitarian pause. This is not a ceasefire. This is a humanitarian pause. So for us, it's surprising to see that Russians are trying to sell this as a kind of a ceasefire. In our understanding, a full ceasefire. And by the way, Ukraine's foreign minister, Andriy Sybiha, formulated this many times. The full ceasefire is a ceasefire on the land, sea, and in the air. So complete succession of hostilities. And this is what you call a ceasefire. When bombs do not fall on the civilian, residential areas and civilian critical infrastructure, then you can talk. Because otherwise, how is this supposed to look? The two delegations meet, and then the bombs fall on the Ukrainian city, and how does this diplomacy advance? So again, this is very logical to have a full ceasefire. And these humanitarian pauses, this is something that is already happening, and this cannot be called a genuine and full ceasefire.
Right there. Any concrete things inside the meeting? You can hear that people are shouting questions. They haven't engaged with any of the questions, nor the questions that were asked as they were going in. The only thing that we do have are some pictures that have come out of the two leaders, Starmer of the UK and President Zelensky of Ukraine, meeting in the garden.